Here are goals for this next chapter. And what we're going to kind of do is, so we're covering the animal kingdom. And we are going to start with very, very simple animals like sponges. And we're going to work our way up to humans and human anatomy. Okay? So instead of this being a chapter, what we're going to do is we're going to break it up a little bit. So we'll go through a few types of animals, and then we'll take a short test, and then we'll go over a few more animals, take a short test. I think that would be better than spending like 5 or 6 weeks on animals, and then having one giant test. Okay, so we're still going to kind of do what we've been doing. A couple weeks, and then we'll have a test. A couple weeks, and we'll have a test. And then they'll be shorter, and it'll be, I think, a little easier to manage. Okay, so some terms. Some of these things you know, some of you do not. Herbivore, carnivore, omnivore. Depending on your diet, you fall into one of those categories. I think you might be familiar with that. Another thing I think you're familiar with is vertebrates and invertebrates. Backbones, no backbones. We're going to talk about different types of symmetry. Are they asymmetrical? Do they have radial symmetry or bilateral symmetry? Symmetry is like their features, and if you folded them in half, how those would match up. We're going to talk about exoskeleton, endoskeleton, molting, those type of things, metamorphosis, complete and incomplete, hibernation, estivation, some different parts. We are going to do our start our dissections. So there's some dissection terms that I want you to know, like ventral and dorsal, posterior or anterior, things like that, terms that you'll be using when we dissect. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to go over characteristics common to most animals. So all animals have this or that. Going to go through that. Talk about the difference between vertebrates and invertebrates. Describe the different phylum. So we're going to break our chapters into phylum. Our first phylum is going to be sponges, cnidarians, and the worms, flat and roundworms. And then we'll break them up further and end up with mammals. We're going to talk about complete and incomplete metamorphosis and what that means and what things do those things. And then we're going to talk about the differences between amphibians and reptiles and how they develop. There's tons and tons of stuff that we're going to cover in this, and this is a lot of fun. A lot of people like the dissections, the hands-on stuff. So it should be a good time.